Hello and welcome back to the course on mastering emotions in everyday conversations. I'm sure you're making some good progress with that, having gone through the module 1 and 2. In this module, we are going to be looking at what are those 4 steps to mastering your emotions. We will not go into the details because the details will be looked at in the forthcoming modules. But in this module, we'll just be looking at what are those 4 steps. But a few things before that. Our emotions can both be our greatest asset as well as our greatest threat. Firstly, why are our emotions our greatest asset? There are 3 reasons for that. Firstly, they are the best media to build fulfilling relationships with others. No amount of relatedness with people at a thinking or at a doing level will enable relationships. It is only the emotions that establish relationships that we dearly cherish. You look at it this way. In any good relationship, you feel close, you feel comfortable, you feel empowered, and you feel comforted. So it is predominantly what you feel. Needless to say, thinking and doing things together have their own place in relationship building as well. But what we must understand is relationships are primarily about emotions that get exchanged between individuals. Secondly, emotions are the greatest source of energy. You have done great things in life. You know why? Because you felt something. You see, you felt inspired and you started that little business of yours. You were moved. You felt moved and you reached out to that person in need. You felt excited and you went on that adventure trip. And I can go on quoting a lot of things that we have done in our lives because we were driven by the greatest source of energy called emotion. Finally, emotions are biggest storage of information. All the experiences you have gone through as you grew up are stored in the form of emotion. For example, if you see a stray dog on the street, the information that it is dangerous presents itself in the form of fear. So, you kind of keep yourself away from the danger and you kind of run away or do something about it. Imagine you have to go through the experience every time you see this stray dog. Now that is not beneficial to us, and that wouldn't work thanks to our emotions. Now the second angle to it is why our emotions also our greatest threat. Firstly, as much as there is stored information in our emotions, there is also stored judgments. For example, because of past experiences, you hold the judgment that tall people are dangerous, often unconsciously. Then you tend to keep distance and be cautious with such looking people. You miss out on an opportunity to have good relationship at the best, and in the worst case you might end up doing something that might hurt the other person just because he is tall. Secondly, emotions have the tendency to defy all logic and rationale. The one act driven by emotion would make us regret for the rest of our life. Do you remember such acts? I'm sure we do. We do remember all those acts that we acted just because we were spurred by that strong emotion. We wish we would not have done that. I'm sure you can relate to this. So, emotions sometimes tend to defy all logic and rationale. Now, here's the key to this program. Our emotions are not what they seem to be. How do they seem sometimes? They seem all-consuming, all-powerful, and all-controlling. But that's a myth. Instead, we are the ones who hold all the power to choose what and how we want to emote. Let me repeat that again. We are the ones who hold the power to choose what and how we want to emote. Now, this is central to this program. How can we do this? This can be mastered by 4-step process. And the 4 steps are: Step 1. Develop awareness. Step 2. Create emotional vocabulary for you and for others. Step 3. Take ownership for what you emote. Step 4. Choose. You choose what to do with your emotions. By using this simple 4-step process, irrespective of the stimuli you get, you can decide how to respond. While it might look like a big process initially, when mastered, all the 4 steps can happen within fractions of a second. It is just like mastering to drive a car. Initially, it might look like a long, complex thing, but once mastered, we so naturally do it, isn't it? Besides, you might already be practicing this process, and learning this just might reinforce what you are already good at. So welcome again to Master Your Emotions and not let emotions master you. So in the forthcoming modules, we are going to be looking at every step of the process in detail. The first one being developing awareness. So stay on the learning curve.